No, sir.
Okay. I'll wait for 30 more seconds if anyone has any questions. Okay, thank you for your responses. We'll move ahead. So I hope everything is clear with this much of HTML. Apart from this, we'll use h1 tags, heading tags. You would already know if you know about uh, HTML. So we will use heading tag. Okay. Apart from this, we'll use some paragraph tags. There's also one paragraph generator in VS Code. You write lorem, hit enter. It will give you some dummy text. Okay. So we will use this a lot. Just have to write lorem and hit enter. It will automatically come. I think these we will use only these tags in while creating all the animations I showed earlier. Okay. So next thing for us is basics of CSS. Okay. So what CSS is, CSS is called as cascading style sheets. Okay. These are used to style your HTML content. Okay. Right now, HTML content is very basic. We don't have any styling here. Okay. So what if we wanted to have this div one in some other color, the span in some other color, or we wanted to have a background in this paragraph. So for these things, we use CSS. Okay. The best way to use CSS is using external CSS, meaning we create one external style sheet. Okay, meaning we create one CSS file. We call that style.css, and we'll write our CSS code inside this styles.css. Now,
Okay, sir.
now, since your browser can only render HTML file or HTML content, okay, your browser cannot render CSS files. Okay, to make your browser pick this CSS file for this HTML file. Okay, listen very closely. To make your browser pick this CSS file for your styling for this HTML file, we need to include this or import this CSS file inside your HTML file. I know this was a very long sentence, so any questions on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now what we'll do is to link some CSS file, we'll use link tag, but using VS Code, we can also do a shortcut for this. You just write link colon CSS. It will create that for you. Just need to change your file name. So we have styles.css. Okay. Let's see if it is getting picked or not. So what we'll do, we'll write h1 and we'll say, so if we want to change the color of this h1 tag, we'll write color colon red. Now what it did, we changed the color of our h1 tag to red color. Initially it was black color, now we have red color. Okay. Like I mentioned, we can change the background of any tag. So we have this p tag here. We change the background color with this. Let's say write background color and write aqua. So, okay. We have a different background for our paragraph tag. Okay, keep in mind, I'm moving too fast with basic CSS because we have a lot to cover on animations. So if you have any questions, just put them in the chat and I'll stop and I'll check your questions. Okay. Next we have is something called as margins. Okay. Let's do one more thing. Let's add a background color here as well and let's put green. So our h1 tag has background of green color. Our p tag has background of some light blue. Okay. Now there's something called as margin. If I put margin top, I'm saying 10 pixels. Okay. See. Um, Why it is not working is because we don't have our border box here. We put margin and we set 20 pixel. So what it will do is it will put 20 pixel spaces from left side, right side, top and bottom. Okay. Why from top is not coming, we'll discuss it later. But keep in mind, margin is used to give spaces between two elements. Next we have is padding. I say padding 20 pixel. Okay, so see, margin give you spaces before the content, sorry, before the element. Okay, and padding gave you space after the element, before your content. Okay, your content is this lorem ipsum. Okay, and we applied padding of 20 pixels. So padding gave you space for your content. Okay, padding is giving you space for your content and margin is giving you space for your entire element. Any questions on this? Okay, okay, let's create a button. Let's style that button. And we'll add a class to this button. We'll call it button. Now, since our class was button, okay. Now, to access this class from our CSS file, we'll use dot button. And this, sorry, yeah. And this dot is called as class selector. Meaning, with dot button, what we are saying is target all the HTML elements who have class as button, dot button. Okay. So in our HTML code, we have only one.
Shashank, are you there? Think he got disconnected. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. He'll join back. Till he's back, uh, I'll tell you what are the, like, since multiple people joined after I said about the program. So I'll just tell you a little bit more about what we are planning to do in upcoming weeks. So in every weekend, if you refer our website or our emails, we'll be sending you emails. So every weekend we have some other master class, right? So we already have had two master classes. One was for front end, the other one was for MongoDB. This is the third one. And the good thing about this master classes is they can help you to start with the basics, right? Sometimes it happens that we want to understand a particular technology, but we don't know the basics, right? I'm not saying that if you attend these sessions, they will make you very good at that particular tech, but they will basically help you to start with some basics, right? So
Yes. Sorry, my internet got lost. So yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Where was I?
Shashank,
Sorry,
just
where
one
was
minute.
I?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
just a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. So next week also we have some sessions. So please keep on following and keep on following the emails and the website to attend more of free sessions and take the maximum benefit out of it. Over to you, Shashank.
Yeah. Can someone, Saurabh, can you please tell me where, when did I left?
Uh, can you share your screen?
Okay, sorry.
Then I can. Yeah.
You tried to create a button, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So had we created this button?
No, sir. Actually, you stopped in background color red
Okay,
button.
okay, 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 sorry. Okay. All right. So we'll do once again. So any questions till here? Background color to red. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll change the color to white. So it will have text of white color. Before that, let me comment these two things. See, we have a black border here. It's not looking good. So let's remove this. So to remove a border, we say border 0. Now what this means? So there's some border property for CSS, and we are saying border of 0, meaning whatever border is there, just remove it. Okay, so we have removed our border. Add some padding. Let's add a padding of 10 pixels here. Okay. Okay. Now see, we have sharp edges. Okay, and we don't want sharp edges, we want rounded edges. So for that we'll use one property called as border radius. Okay, let's put border radius of 10 pixels. See, now our edges are a bit rounded. Okay, let's increase this to 20 pixels. Okay. Let's put these two paragraphs back. We have some tags, some div tags, some headings, two paragraphs, and a button. Okay, so have you seen any website where you see a button at the right side of the page, and if you scroll down or scroll top, the button stays the same at the right side? Have you seen something like this? Okay,
Yes, sir. The position is fixed.
correct. Position is fixed. And let's see how do we make the position fixed. Okay. See, right now the position of this button is after this h3 tag we had. Okay, we had this h3 tag. We had this h3 tag. The position of this button is after this h3 tag. What we have to want to do is we want to fix this button at the right side of our screen. Okay, let's see how we do that. For that, we use a CSS property called as position. Position. Okay, the default value of position is relative. Okay, what does relative position mean? So okay, we'll discuss this relative position, but let's see how do we do this. Okay. We say position is fixed. Now you see this button is gone. If I remove this position fixed, button will come back. Okay, position is fixed. Whenever you add a fixed position, your CSS expects to provide the new position of your button. Okay, let's put bottom of 20 pixels and right of 20 pixels. I tell you what this is, but see, if I scroll up or scroll down, the button is still at the same position. It is not moving. Understood?
Yeah, yes, sir. Because we
Okay,
used a fixed position.
correct. So we use a fixed position and we are saying bottom 20 pixels. Okay, let me remove this. It's saying bottom 20 pixels, meaning it is fixing your position of your button 20 pixels from the bottom. Okay, So this is the bottom of our screen, okay, and it is saying 20 pixels from this button. So if we put 15, or let's put 50 here, so now this button is a bit above to this previous position. Why? Because we have 50 pixels spaces from the bottom of the screen. Okay, take it back to 20. Now to make it to right side, to fix it to the right side, we need right 20 pixels, meaning it will keep 20 pixel spaces from the right side. Okay, you can play around with these values. You can say 10 pixels, so it will move just a bit more to the right side. You can put 50 pixel, it will move a bit left from its from the 20 pixels. Any questions on this?
यस सर, आई हैव ए क्वेश्चन।
Yes, Deepak.
ये सर, आप जो आपने ये पोजीशन फिक्स लगाया हुआ है, इसके बिना अगर हम बॉटम और राइट को अगर लगाएं तो लग जाएगा क्या?
You mean this?
No. No. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So what position fixed means is it is fixing the position of this element. Okay, and to this, and this will be the new position. If you want to make it to the top right, so right now it is bottom right. If you want to make it top right, so what we can do is, instead of bottom 20 pixel, we can say top 20 pixel. So now the vertical position of your button would be 20 pixels from the top. Okay, so to, okay, think of it as your coordinate system. Okay, you need to point any to give a point location of a point, you need x direction and y direction. Correct. So you need vertical space and you need horizontal space. To give vertical space, we use either top or we use either bottom, not both. Okay, if you use both, so what it means is 20 pixels from top and 20 pixels from bottom, so it will stretch it your button. Okay, so you use either of them, either top or bottom. Same way, either right or left. Any question? So right now our button is fixed at top left. Any questions on this? Just
No,
put in
sir.
the chat.
Good to go.
Okay. Have different values for position. Okay, so this is a fun fixed position. We have position called as sticky. We have position called as relative. Okay, and we have position called as absolute. What these are, we'll see. So by definition, I can tell you, if you have a position of relative. Okay, if I remove this, the button is coming at just from the left side. Okay, we say position relative here. Okay, position relative and top 20 pixels. What it will do is it will move your button from its current position 20 pixels from the from top. Okay, so relative means relative to current position. Okay, and if we put 20 left also, so it will move left 20 pixels. Okay, position fixed means relative to your viewport position, meaning I can't comment these out. Relative to your viewport position, meaning it will say 20 pixels from the top of your viewport, 20 pixels from left of your viewport. Relative means 20 pixels from the current position of your element, 20 pixels from the current position of your left of your element. A bit confused in pixels. What is the total size of screen horizontally in pixels? Okay, so Deepak, total pixel size you can get, but you have to write some JavaScript code for it. So it depends upon your monitor resolution size. So if I put my browser on full screen, so then the horizontal space would be different than this. Okay.
Yes, sir.
With inspect we can see, sir. With inspect
Yeah,
we can see
correct.
pixels.
Correct. With inspect you can see those things. If you go here, go to elements, go select this. Let me. Okay. So right now your let me put it responsive. Okay. Right now your screen is, so this screen is 692 pixels width, 863 height. You can increase or decrease, okay, and check how your page is looking. That's how you can get your screen size. But that is not very much required for this, for what we are discussing today.
Yes, sir. Fixed position is work to viewport.
Fixed position is relative to your viewport. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Our next topic is okay. So any questions till now? I hope there are no questions till now. So our next topic is, we'll start basics of animation. Okay. So this is all we will be using in CSS and HTML. Now we'll start animations. Just put in the chat if you understood or not. If you have any questions, just put in the chat. Okay.
Understood, sir.
Okay. Let's create a file, box.html. What we'll do is, we'll create a folder called CSS, and we'll put CSS files inside this. So we have one new file, box.html, and one new file, box.css, inside this CSS folder. Again, we'll use exclamation mark to generate our basic boilerplate code with live server. Okay. Now we'll just link our CSS file. Right now, why did I say /css/box.css? Because the CSS file is inside this CSS folder. So that's why in href I'm saying CSS/box.css. That is called relative path. We'll create a div tag. Okay. We won't need anything else now. Okay. Let's go to our CSS file. So as you can see, the name is box. So we'll create a simple box. Okay. Okay. Div tag. Use div. We'll add a height of, let's say, 500 pixels. Width of 500 pixels. XLTHD. Don't see anything. Why? We don't see anything. Why? Because we don't have any background. We set background of #00. This is called hex code. Or let me make it easier. Let's just put black. We have a 200 pixel height and 200 pixel width of a black box. Okay. Now, if you see, there's some margins here at the top, at the left. Okay. If I increase the width of this, we put 500 pixels. Okay, so it is going beyond this. So let me put 200 is okay. Okay, you can see there's some spaces here, right? So okay, so if you want to write any CSS code, okay, if you are designing any page, you always need to take care of these margins. Your browser by default adds these things, yeah, and we have to remove them every time. I mean, you can it's up to you if you want to remove them or not, but it's always a best practice to remove them. We said margin 0. We said asterisk. Okay, what asterisk means is it will remove margin from all the components. Okay, so asterisk is called a wildcard. Called as a wildcard. Whatever styling you put inside your asterisk, it will be applied to your all of your elements. Okay. Now you can see our box is touching the boundary of your viewport or your screen. Okay. Now see, your div tag is inside your body tag. Okay, let's do something on body now. Let's write display flex. Now what this is, we'll discuss, but let me write it first. Height of 100 ph, width of 100 VW. So VH, VW pixels. These are all unit sizes, just like we have unit size of measurement, meter, centimeter, millimeter. So these are measurement sizes in CSS. So pixel is, a size of a pixel of your screen. VH is called as viewport height, or the entire height of your viewport. So 100 VH means 100% of your height of your viewport. Okay, 100 VW means 100% of height of your viewport width. Okay, now we'll say justify content center, align item center. So these 3 lines of code will make your content center at the center. Whatever you put inside your body tag, everything will come inside a center in the center. If you put these 3 lines, display flex. This is called as a flex box. These are properties of flex box. Flex box is itself is in a 2 or 3 hours session, so I will not be able to discuss more on this. Just keep in mind that flex this is using flex box, and justify content aligns it to horizontally, and align it items aligns it vertically. And if we add both, it will be horizontally aligned and vertically aligned, meaning it will be in the center, exact center of your screen. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Why are you display flex use?
Since we wanted to move it to the circle, sorry, to the center. To move anything to the center, you have to. I mean, there are a lot of ways you can do that, but we are right now. I'm using flexbox. Okay, don't get confused. What is flexbox? I cannot explain flexbox in 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Flexbox will take at least 2 to 3 hours session. Okay. For now, just keep in mind just that this will move things to the center. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to add some actions, meaning when I take my mouse over this black box, I want the color of this box to change. Okay, I'll repeat it again. When I move my mouse to this black box, I want the color of this black box to change. Okay, now yes, to make something, to trigger this event, meaning to trigger this mouse over event, we use, or to trigger any event in CSS, we use pseudo classes. Okay, there are a lot of pseudo classes. One of them is hover. Hover meaning hover means mouse over the element. Okay, we'll write div colon hover. I'll say background color of red. Now, if I take my mouse to this black box, it will change the color to red. Okay. Now see, this is a very subtle change. There's no smoothness in this change. Okay. There's no transitioning in this change, meaning at one time it is black and the next second it is red. It is changing instantaneously. There's no smoothing event. There's no animation event here. Okay. To do that, we need to add a transition property in our element. We write transition. Okay. So transition property takes a lot of values. The first, the property, the first value it accepts is in which property of this div tag you want to allow add transitions. Okay, meaning we want to add transitions on background color. Okay, so we'll write background color here. Transition on background color. So this means we are going to add transitions on background color. Okay, now what kind of transition it would be? It would be a transition which takes 1 second to complete. Okay, now let's see. Now see, this is a very smooth change from black, it goes to red. Why it happens? Because we added a transition property and 1 second. What is 1 second? So this is called as transition duration, meaning your transition from color black to color red will take 1 second of time. Okay, if I put it 2 seconds, okay, now say it will be a bit slower. Okay, also with this hover, what we do is if you take your mouse, it will start. If you remove your mouse, it will come back to its original position. Okay, now let's add border radius. Initially our border radius is 0. Meaning we have sharp edges. Okay, and at once hover, we'll write border radius to 50%. So if you write border radius of 50% to any element, to any square box, it will make it circular. Okay. Now see, since we added transition on only background color, okay, since we are adding transition on only background color, so only background color is transitioning. The border radius is again very subtle change, very instantaneous change. Okay, now to put transition on all the properties, we just write transition all and the timing, the transition duration. Now see, any questions on this?
We can't change duration of borders, sir. Border radius.
No, you can only apply one transition in one div tag, in one tag. I mean, we can do so. What you're talking about, we can do that, but we have to use advanced CSS and advanced animations that we will discuss. That we will discuss in some time. But with transitions, you cannot do that. Okay. Any other questions? No, no, sir. Okay. What tag is used for scrolling web page? Ram Babu, can you please elaborate on that? Okay. We'll move ahead. So there's something called as transformation in CSS. Transformation. Transformation stands for changing position, orientation, size, and Transformation stands for changing position, orientation, or size. Okay. How can we change position? We can change position by either moving it to right, left, top, or bottom. Okay. How we can change orientation? Orientation is rotation. Rotation. Okay. Orientation is rotation. Okay. So what we can do is we can also rotate this thing. And size is scale, or let's call it zoom. Both are different things, scale or zoom, but we'll see. Let's apply some transformations here. I will, for time being, I will remove this font radius of 50%. I will write transformations now. In transform colon, let's say translate x, let's say 100 pixels. So translate x meaning it will translate this div tag to 100 pixels to the right in x direction. So x direction is right to left, okay, or left to right. Okay, let's see. Okay, we took our mouse over this box and it is moving 100 pixels to the right. If we put minus 100 pixels, it will move to the left. Okay. Same as we study in number theory, positive direction is right side, negative direction is left side. Okay. Now let's look at translate y. So it will move it in y direction, minus 100 pixels in y direction. If you put 100 pixels, it will move in. Translate y will move it up with minus, and translate y with positive value will move it down. Okay. Now we can use both of them at same time, 100 pixels comma 100 pixels. So what it will do is 100 pixels to the right and 100 pixels to the top, from the top. Okay. You can play around with this. Let's say put minus 100 here. So it will move 100 to the right and 100 to the top, to above. Okay. And again, it is taking 2 seconds because we have transition duration of 2 seconds. Any questions on translation?
So what does that scale?
Yeah, we'll come to that. We'll come to that.
Sure, sir, sure.
Next transform is let's look at how to rotate something. Okay, rotate x. We want to rotate this box in x direction 90 degrees.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, can't we put both in same?
Yeah, we can put both
Code.
in same. Yeah, we can put. We'll come to that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Rotate x 90 degree. Okay, so it is rotating. So you have to visualize this in 3D space. So if you rotate something in x direction, after 90 degree, you will not see anything, because you would after 90 degree rotation, it will just come to a straight line, and which will not be visible. If you put 180 degree, then you might understand. See. Okay, so around x direction. So with x direction being the axis of rotation, it is rotating this. Okay, if you put y, so it is rotating in y direction. You can put z also here. Okay, it's rotating in z direction, 180 degree in z direction. Let me put 45, so it will be a rhombus. Any questions on this? if I put rotate 45 degree, so it will just do the XZ direction rotation. But yeah, like someone else, we can put both things here. And we are not seeing anything. Why?
Sir, I did not mean that, sir. In
Uh-huh.
in translate, beside translate, we can we add rotate, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We can do that. I will do that at the end. Okay. Next is scale. I'm saying scale to 2. So this will be very huge. If we put 1.1. I'll take my mouse on top of this. See, it is becoming larger in size. Okay, so it is scaling. Okay, trying put 1.5. Okay, now how there's one more thing is Q. Okay, so let me put it QX first. Okay, so it is skewing it in X direction. Skew Y, skew it in Y direction. Okay. Any questions on these 4 transformations? What will happen to other elements when using translate? Like if we move to the so Sharon, that will depend upon what depth they have. Okay, I mean, so most probably in most cases it will overlap both those elements. If you translate it to right, it will overlap those elements in most cases. But we can also change that. Yeah. Any other question? Yeah. Okay.
Sir, can you explain the QY again?
Think skew as think of a box and you're applying force on one direction. Okay, meaning, so right now, see, this is a box, we are applying force on this direction. So it is moving on the top side to the top. This is Q. I don't know the exact definition. Let's see what this Q is called. Okay, it came to mathematics, leave it. So skew is, think of skew as like applying force on the one side, on the edges. Okay, so we are applying forces on the edges, so it is making one side go up, one side go down. If put on the X direction, okay, like that. Let's see how to write these all these transformations at one line. Transform, we say translate 100, 100. Okay, we have everything in this one line. So let me remove this Q and scale. So it is translating 100 to minus 100. It is also rotating to 90 degrees. Someone is asking for this, right?
It's me, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Any questions?
No, sir, all clear.
Okay.
Sir, can I ask you?
Yes.
Sir, you was put code in Visual Studio code, but we normally put Notepad in this code. In case we will put this code in Notepad, this will work on it.
Okay. So This question comes a lot. Say in colleges, they don't teach you to use VS Code. Okay, they ask you to run it to code it in Notepad, but Notepad is very basic code editor. You cannot do these advanced things like I said, like I showed here. If I just put exclamation mark, hit enter, it will come automatically. It will come. Okay. So these type of things you cannot do in Notepad. But yeah, whatever code you write here, and the same code will work in Notepad as well. But it is recommended to use VS Code or any code editor, even Sublime, Atom. There are a lot of code editors. Should not use Notepad.
Can you use CSS in Notepad?
Yeah, of course. Of course, you can use CSS in
External,
Notepad.
internal, everything.
Everything you can use in Notepad.
So can we use CodePen or other online editors for practicing CSS?
Yes, you can use, and that is very much recommended. If you are just starting with this, then use CodePen or JS Fiddle and these type of things. Okay. All right. And any other question on transformations?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's move ahead. I showed one animation in the beginning, right? Of balls loading. This animation, okay. Let's see how we create this animation.
Sorry for interruption, sir. Can I ask you another question?
Yeah, please.
Sir, the CSS code only you will put in that code page. That will CSS code only executed in that. Is it possible the browser will execute only CSS code without HTML code?
No. See, your browser only
Okay.
renders HTML. Your browser can only understand HTML.
Okay.
Okay. So browser will not understand your CSS. See, even see right now. See, we are opening box.html file. We are not using box.css. Okay. So your browser will only render HTML, and it is your responsibility to link both CSS and HTML.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Any other question? Okay. Now we'll create this. Let's create a file of allsloader.html and again the CSS file. In our emit template, we put exclamation mark and it will come everything. We have to link our CSS file. We'll say CSS/allsloader.css. I click open it like so. All right. Okay. So first thing what we need is we need to create 3 balls. Okay. So first let's create one ball and see how a ball is created. Okay. A CSS file will write abstract, will remove margin from everywhere, margin :0. Body will write just thinking height 100%, width 100%, and this to put in the center. This is a div tag. Let's call it div class of ball. How a ball is created is you need to have height, you need to have width,
Sir,
let's
can
add
you
a
show HTML code for the ball?
1 second. Just a div tag. Yeah, nothing else. So this gave us a square. Okay, like we saw in
Okay, so
previous.
it's similar to box, right?
Yeah, similar to box.
Okay.
To make a square into box, we use border radius of 50%. Change the color so that you can see clearly. So, how to convert a ball, a box into a ball? Just put border radius of 50%. You will get a ball. Any question on this?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
So let's see that previous output again, how our loader looks like. So see, we have 3 balls here, okay? And both of these 3 balls are separated by with some distance, okay? Okay. So again, what we'll do is we'll just hit 3 balls. That code as well. So we have 3 balls. Any questions?
No, sir.
And what we'll say is we'll say just say position of relative. Let's give multiple classes. So this is our ball 1. This is our ball 2. That's ball 3. See, what I've done is I've given one single class to all these 3 elements, that is creating a ball out of them. Okay. Now we have ball 1, ball 2, and ball 3. Okay. So what ball 2 is, ball 2 is this. Okay. So what we want is we want to shift ball 2. We have to give some space between ball 1 and ball 2, right? So what we did position relative, and we'll say left of 20 pixels. Okay. Now see the position of, let me just remove this. It again. Right now both balls are touching. Okay. If I said left of 20, ball 2 is moved 20 pixels to its original position in left side. Why? Why original position? Because we have set position as relative. Any question on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Same way, we'll do this on ball 3. Right. So we have 3 balls now. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to make these balls bounce up and down. Right. If you see closely, all these 3 balls are bouncing up and down, nothing else. Okay, and their color is changing also. Okay. See, we have already seen how to move something to top. We saw that transformation property, right? Okay, so we can use the transformation property to make these balls up and down. Okay. Now, since transformation is only applied on certain properties, okay, for example, we can apply transition. So the animation we have seen till now was on transitions. Okay, let's look at our box. Okay, so we had applied transition only on some events. Okay, when we hover over the box, then it was doing something. Okay, to apply some animations, default, we have to use something called as CSS keyframes. Okay, this is the most important thing in animations, keyframes. Okay, With transitions, you can only create basic animations, but with the keyframes, you can create any animation you would like. Okay. Let's see how keyframes are created. We'll write at keyframes and then our animation name. At keyframes and then the name of the animation. So we are giving the name of the animation as jump. We want to make our balls jump up and down. Okay. Now this keyframe has two things, from and to. Meaning your jump animation, it will start from this position, it will end in this position. Meaning if I apply this jump animation to any element, okay, it will say make this from here to here, and inside this will write some CSS, but it will say make this animation from here to here. Okay, we're saying top 0 and to top minus 100 pixels. Okay, what this means is the top position initially is 0 pixels or 0. The top position after this animation is finished is minus 100 pixels. Let's apply this transition on all one. Sorry, this animation, not transition, this animation. Animation's first thing is animation name, we cite jump. Second thing is the duration, we say 2 seconds. Okay, let's put this. See, let me refresh it again. See, what is happening is ball is going from up to down, they just coming back at original position instantaneously. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to add one more property called as infinite. What infinite does is it will run this transformation infinite times. Sorry, I'm saying transformation again. It is animation. It will run this animation infinite times. Okay. Next thing is called forwards. Or let's not call it forward, let's call it alternate. We did alternate. So now see, the ball is going from from down to up, then up to down. Okay. If I remove this alternate, see what happens is it goes from up to from bottom to up, but as soon as it reaches the top position, it instantaneously comes back to original position. Okay, we write alternate. What alternate means is once animation will go from top from to, next it will go from to from. So it will go from 0 pixel to minus 100, then minus 100 to 0. Any question on this?
No, sir.
Sir, can I ask you?
Yeah, please.
Sir, why we should put separate files like a .html, .css? In case we put a same file like a CSS styling coding in HTML, what will happen?
You can do that. But keeping things separate is a bit more convenient because we have a separate file for HTML, separate file for CSS. So if you're coding, that is more convenient to manage code. Nothing else.
Okay, sir. Understand.
Any other question?
So can you explain keyframes?
Okay. So keyframes are used to create animations or define animations. Okay. So if you have studied any programming language, in that we create functions, right? So here we are creating an animation, same way. We create an animation with name jump. Okay. And this animation is having its initial point, its starting point, meaning this animation will start from top value of top being 0, and it will
Top
end
0
at
in top. What is top 0, sir? In web
Yeah.
page,
Yeah.
that
See.
bouncing ball.
If you remember, we had discussed positions and thing last topic.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, so if I put position relative position means relative to its original position, correct?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Top 0 meaning top is the distance the vertical distance. Okay, we are saying move 0 pixel top, I mean above and vertically to its current position. 0 pixel is nothing. Okay,
Yeah, sir.
and now we are saying top minus 100 pixel, meaning start from 0 pixel top, start from 0 pixel moving vertically and till 100 pixel moving vertically. Top is vertical movement.
Understood, sir.
Understood? Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. If you
Excuse me, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
is it? Continue.
Please, can you comment this top 0?
Yeah, it will.
फिर refresh the page.
Nothing will happen.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You need
Sir, is
initial position and you need ending final position.
Sir,
Yeah.
is it playing or within height and width 50 pixels, sir?
Sorry, what is it?
Sir, is it playing within 50 pixel height and 50 pixel width?
This is height and width of your ball. That has
Yeah,
nothing
sir.
to do with top and left of this.
Okay, sir.
Okay, both are different things. Now, if you see, it is also changing colors here. See, from we are having green to blue, then red. We're having 3 colors here. Okay, but here we have. Okay, let's do that first. Background color of green, and then finish with background color of red. Okay. So it is starting with background color of green, ending with background color of red. Okay, we'll increase the speed. Okay, now we have to apply. Let's apply these 3 animations in ball 2 and ball 3. What happens? What is happening now is all are moving at the same time. Let's see here. Okay, what we'll do here is we'll add something called as animation delay. Animation delay. Let's put 0.5 seconds. Okay, this ball 3 will put animation delay of 1 second. Let's put 0.25 and 0.5. Okay. Similar, right? Any questions? I know this is very complicated, but take your time and just let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, Sharon, we can add more colors in between. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, sir, that if now work out the 2 colors, but display showing 3 colors of that page. So how do, sir?
Yeah, here we are seeing 3 colors, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll come to that. I will come just that is just the next topic. Any questions on this?
No, sir.
Anyone else?
So ping your email or LinkedIn account in chat, sir, so that if we have any queries, we can.
We'll discuss at the end. We'll discuss at the end. Okay. Any other query? Okay. Okay. So right now, animation has only 2 states, meaning initial state and ending state. Okay. What if we want to have more states? Okay. Now we can also have percentage values here. comment this. It says at 0% of your animation, okay, we have this, and we can say at 100% we have this thing. Okay, let's for now let's make it 200. If we want to add another state at 50%, we'll say let's call it loop. Okay, see, you would see there's some it is kind of sticking in between. You can see. I'm not sure if you can see it in the.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
Okay. Why that is happening is we need to have something called as forwards. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So if you want to add more positions in between or more states in between, you can add that. Okay. So right now we are having only 3 states, from green to blue to red. Okay. Let me do one thing. Okay. So what is happening here is it is starting from 0, going till 100, and again coming to 0. Okay. I mean, you can play around with these values, but that is how we create simple animations. You put your state at what time you want to show what. Okay. So right now, see, our animation is of 1 second duration. Okay. So meaning at 0th second of animation, I mean at the time of starting of animation, your state would be this. Okay. 50% means when 50% of your duration has been elapsed, meaning 50% of 1 second is 0.5 seconds. So after 0.5 seconds, your animation, your state would look like this. And when your animation is completed, your state would look like this. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Now there are something called as timing functions. If you have if you are I'm not sure if you in BTech there's one subject called as computer graphics. You would study timing functions there. So animation timing function. Okay. So it is very mathematical thing. Okay, but we have some predefined timing functions as keys in. Keys in meaning so timing function defines how your animation will work. It will ease in meaning it will start slowly, it will end when it is finishing, it will increase in speed. Ease out, start fast, at the end it will slow. Okay, one thing is linear, meaning it will go in the same speed. These are very advanced concepts of timing functions.
so easy in out, sir. Easy in out.
Yeah, ease in out meaning it will start slowly, it will end slowly, but it will speed up in between. Okay. Any other question?
And there will be a cubic.
Yeah, cubic Bezier is how to explain this cubic Bezier. So cubic Beziers are like Bezier functions. So there are some mathematical Bezier functions. So you have to provide Bezier values here in this function.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a cubic Bezier is a website, and
It's not a website. It's cubic Bezier as a function. It's a mathematical function. Okay.
okay, sir.
Yeah. If it is there in your BTech course, if someone is in BTech, you would study this, but it is very advanced mathematical concept.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, is there any source from where we can study all these things?
Yeah, we'll come to that at the end.
Okay.
Any other question? If no, then no questions, right? Okay. Let's create this wiggle button which I showed you earlier. Okay. So click on a button and it is wiggling. I'm not sure if you can see its behavior, but it is moving left, right, and it is giving a wiggle effect. Okay. Let's see how to create this. Create a wiggle.css, we'll create a wiggle.html. Again, or excuse me, just a button will write save. Okay, that's it. HTML. Everything rest will do in CSS. We'll have to link our CSS file, link to the CSS, and we'll say CSS dash visual.css. Let's open this visual file in our right now. Button something looks something like this. Again, just remove margins, margin colon 0. Body, let's say height of 100 pixel. Yep. Let's put a background color of black. Now we'll add some styles on our button. A height of 20 pixels. Very slow. But let's call 100 pixels. Background color, let's call text color, let's put white. Let's remove border. You would not see border, but border was there. The border was there. Border also. Let's put border radius of 10 pixels. So we have better. Okay.
So there was a border top of yellow.
Yeah. We'll come to that. This one, right? It's orange color.
Yeah, sir.
So to add this orange color, let's increase the height to 50 pixels. So let's add this border top also. Border top, we'll say 3 pixels solid orange. Okay. Border radius. Since we'll add border radius and top 20 pixels. Border left the top left radius. What the bottom left radius will say 20 pixels. So it will add the border radius on bottom left. Border right radius. Any questions still now?
No, sir.
Okay. What we need to do is we need to add our animation. Okay. Let's create our animation. Okay. To create animation, again keyframes and then animation name. Let's call it wiggle. At 0%. Okay. Let's see how do we move it first. Let's see. Before we had seen rotate, right? We'll use rotate functionality here. This is I'm just doing for checking. And this is just doing for showing if that transformation is okay or not. Transform, rotate, and let's say 0 degree. Oh, sorry, let's say 7 degree. Okay. That's very slow. 0.5. Okay. If you see here, same thing is happening, right? It is moving right, moving left. Okay, and this is just moving right. Okay, and what we have to do in our animation is we have to move right, then left, then right, then left. See here. Okay, you see closely, it is just moving right, left, right, left. Okay. Let's remove this. We'll say transform 0 degree, and at 15%, let's say yes, okay. Add this animation again. Animation name is wiggle. See, right now animation is happening. It's going. Just move this out a bit first. Moving to right side. Okay. Any questions, Selvam?
No, sir.
Okay. See, we have moved our animation to right side. Next, we have to move it to the left side. Okay. Let's say at 25%, we are at minus 15 degree. Again, at let's say 35 degree, we are at 10 degree. Okay. At 15, 25, let's say 45. 45, let's say we are at minus 10 degree. Okay. Any questions? See, if you see the difference between these two, can you see?
This one is moving smooth, sir. That one is little.
No. The rotation which is happening here is a bit different. Just look at the rotation which is happening. Okay, if you can't see that, okay. There's something added here is that is called as
So not properly move.
transform origin.
Yeah.
What transform origin is, it will move your, let's call it 50 pixels. Yeah, so it will move your origin of rotation to to some other position. Right now it would be just at the center, but if you just do a transform, it will move it to get to some other position. It is a very advanced concept. So see, animation is all about mathematics. So if you're good in geometry and mathematics, you can learn animation easily, very easily. Okay. And I will say at is coming at 6 degree plus 6 degree. And 65, we are ending it at 0 degree. Now, what we want to do is we want to run this animation on click of this button. Okay. To do that, we have one pseudo class called as focus and colon focus.
So did not got it, sir. What was the reason? Can you just repeat?
In this example, right now, if I refresh the page, the button is not moving. If I click on the button, only then it is moving.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay. Yes.
Why are you using transform origin?
We want to move the origin of rotation to some other place.
Okay, sir.
If we not use this, see the difference.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
It is just moving left, right, left, right. If I move,
Okay.
if I move this, and it is also doing something. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You understood this, right? Initially, this is nothing. When we click on this, only this wiggle is happening. But in our case, wiggle is happening every time, even if we click on this or not. Okay. Since this is a button, what we want is on click of this button, we want to wiggle. So for that, we have that focus pseudo class, and what we'll say, when this button is focused, so focus gets triggered when we click on something. When this button gets focused, meaning when we just click, only then this will be applied. Any questions?
So you don't toggle or do anything.
Sorry?
You don't toggle.
Okay. See, if you want to toggle in those things, that will come from JavaScript. Okay.
Yeah, sir.
Okay.
So then how does it stop?
all the events which you can think of, okay, can do in JavaScript, but in CSS we can try to mimic some of the things. Okay, but we cannot do everything in CSS just with CSS. Okay, for what the toggle thing which you are saying, for that you'll have to use JavaScript as well. Okay, meaning if you click once, then it is toggling. Click again, it should stop, right?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, for that you have to use JavaScript. Any other question?
No, sir.
Anyone else has any question? All right. Let's skip the basic ones. Let's do one bit complicated. Okay. Okay. So we have a card and this one I button here. I here. If you hover over this I, it will show you the rest of the content. Okay. Let's see how we do this. Okay. Before this, let's do slider. That is good. Easy. Yeah. Let's do the slider first. Okay, so this we have our box. We have a box. When we hover over the box, a slider comes from right to left. Okay, it's like opening a door or closing a door, you can say. Okay, that effect. Let's see how we create that effect. Art slider dot HTML. Yeah, the CSS art slider dot. Let's link our CSS class, link colon CSS, CSS slash backslash. Okay. Right. So here we have to write a bit HTML also, because we have to add this card, we have to add this text here as well. Okay. Let's see how do we do that. Let's create a div with class container. Inside this container, so this container is for this outer box, which is the white box which you're seeing. Okay. Inside this white box, we have this red box, sorry, this green box, and then this heading tag and this paragraph. Okay. Let's call another class of inner. Let's add h1. Let's call it hello. Let's add a paragraph with our favorite lorem ipsum. Okay. Any questions till now?
No, sir.
Now we will make this to this with CSS. Okay. Let's see how we do that. First thing is, by default things, let's remove the margins first. Body tag will say height of 100 ph, width of 100 pw, and okay, I showed you display flex, right? How to center align elements. Okay. There's also something called as display grid. And if you don't understand this, just go with the text. Just align. And you might ask why this is taking whole width, because h1 and p tags are block level elements, and again this div is a block level element, so a block takes entire space of the space of your width of your browser. That is why it is taking entire space. Now our container class, okay, which is our outer class. Okay, let's call it outer instead of container. Okay, let's give it a width of 30%. Meaning, we gave this width 30% of the entire width. Then we can write 30%, or we can write 30 VW. Let's change. Okay, let's add a border color, background color here. Background color of light color here. Okay. Okay. Our outer class will have background color of white. This, we have white background color. Okay. And let's add a border radius of 10 pixels. Okay. Next, we'll do some things on our inner class. Inner. Let's add a background color of green. Change this green to something else. Color of white. Yeah, I think I should mention one thing. If you're using VS Code, if you write any color, it will show you this color If you take your mouse on top of it, it will give you the color palette. You can change the color however you want, from like this. Okay. Color is white. Let's add a padding of 10 pixels. Let's add a bit more. Let's add width of 100%. Yeah. See, if the width, if we don't add width, okay, it is looking like this. If we add width of 100%, width 100% meaning it will 100% of its parent. So the parent of its is 30% like this. So if we write this, what will happen is, since we added padding here as well, okay, 15 pixels from left, 15 pixels from right padding. So it is also including that in its width. To handle that, we use a calc function. Okay, we write 100% minus 30%. If I remove this width now, see, the size does not change. Understood, right? This thing understood, right? Any question on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, let's add cursor pointer.
So can you explain what is a cal?
Okay. Sorry, I should mention that as well. So calci is it is a calculator. It is a calculator. Okay. So if you think of a normal calculator, let's talk about if you want to minus 3 meters from 100 meters. Okay, if the units are same, only then you can do subtraction, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what calci does is, you can do calculation on different units. So we have this as percentage, this as pixels. Okay, we can do the calci also work on percentage on VH or VW, anything you can think of. So it's just a calculator. Okay? Calculator of different units. Understood?
Yes, sir.
This cursor pointer is, if you take, so right now if you take your mouse to your box, the cursor is changing to this editor cursor. Okay, to make it a pointer, meaning to it will, the pointer cursor shows it is clickable, or there's some event attached to it, there's some action attached to it. Okay, so we add cursor colon pointer. Can also add more pointers. There's here. There's one thing called as progress. Progresses give you circular spinner. We use pointer here. Let's do styling on our H1 tag. Okay. Let's put color colon. Color is white also. Okay, we don't need anything. Everything else looks okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we need to add border radius. We forgot to add border radius. We added border radius on our outer box. We also need border radius on our inner box. All right. Now, there's one CSS property which is very complicated, that is called as clip path. Okay. Let me write something, then we'll discuss what is this. Oh, it's 50% accuracy. See, what clip path is, Specify. See, if you hover over this, you will see specifies a clipping path where everything inside the path is visible and outside is clipped out. Okay. What we did, we added a clip path of a circle. Okay. 50% is the 50% of the box of the 50% height of the box. That is the radius of the circle. And at 0%, 0%, that is the position of the center of the circle. I know it's a bit confusing. So, any questions on this?
यस सर क्लिप पाथ इससे सर एक वो हो सकता है ना सर एक्सक्यूज मी
What?
दिस इज अ क्लिप पाथ एंड समझ में नहीं आ रहा था थोड़ा सा
So, clip path, what it will do is, it will, so you understand clip meaning it will cut something, path meaning a path. Okay, so whatever path you provide here, okay, only content inside that path will be visible and everything outside will be cut.
Sir, can you explain the values given inside the circle?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, doing that. 1 second. So we are having a path of a circle. Okay, this is 50%. That is the radius of the circle. Okay, what is the 50% of? So 50% of the box inside which we are doing clip path. We are doing clip path inside this inner box. Okay, so 50% meaning it will take 50% of height of this inner box. Okay, that is the radius. So if you see, it is starting from here and position and the 0 and 0 as this is the center of that circle. So circle has some center, right? And that center has some coordinates. Okay, so the 0 and 0 are x and y coordinates of that center related to this inner box. So for that, the 0, 0 would be this point for this inner box, the top left of this inner box where my pointer is, mouse is. Okay, this 50% radius of the circle meaning we have a circle somewhere from here to here. Okay, but since we are putting at this position and everything and only this part is coming inside our clip, so that is why only this is showing, everything else is clipped out. Understood?
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
If I remove this, if I reduce this, let's say put 10%. Okay, so see this now.
excuse me sir
Yes.
I speak कहना हिंदी
Yeah, please.
मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ सर हमारे पास एक क्लिप पाथ का एक ऐसी लाइब्रेरी है जिसकी मदद से हम कैसा भी डिजाइन कर सकते हैं कैसी भी
Yes.
प्लीज कहना न्यू टैब
Sorry.
न्यू टैब पे आना सर आप थोड़ा अपने पे
Sorry, what did you say?
You want I can say
He
you
is,
went to
he is saying please open new tab in your Chrome.
yes
Okay,
sir
okay,
yes
okay. Yes.
clip path maker CSS
Yeah, I know what that clip path maker is. That gives you some clip path values, whatever you can create. Okay.
okay sir
But if you are using something, then you should know how that works. You should not use anything from internet just by that if this is an internet and you just use it. You should also understand why that is, how that values are work. Okay. Okay. So if I put 20%, so the radius of the circle increases. If I put 100%, okay. See, the radius comes from here till here. Okay. That is why this entire box is, the entire height is covered. Okay. This is one value of clip path. Okay, clip path can have multiple values. I mean, a lot of values, not multiple. I should say a lot of values. One is inset. Defines a inset rectangle. Okay, it defines a rectangle. Now, see, I'll just write some values, then we'll discuss what that is. Okay. What it means is it is top, left, sorry, first 0 is for top, second 0 is for left, this is for bottom, this is for right. Okay. Now it is saying clip the rectangle which has 100% from right side, meaning 100% from right side is this entire width of this block. If I say 50% of right side, you'll see the half of the block is visible and half of the block is not visible, because from right side it is saying 50% is inside this clip path. Okay, let me remove this 0 here from here and say 50% from left. Okay. Now it is saying 50% from left side is visible, everything else is not visible. If I put 50% here, let's put 0 here. Okay. Meaning 50% from top side is not is clipped out, or sorry, 50% from top side is clipped out, everything else is visible. Okay. Now let's keep 106% here. Okay. And let's create this. Okay. Now see what is happening here is right now this clip path is 100%, right side is 100%, and when we hover over it, it is coming to 0%. Okay. So if I put 0% here, we'll see everything. Okay. 100% nothing. Same thing is happening here. We hover over it, clip path is coming from 100 to 0. Okay, let's see how do we do that. We'll say dot inner colon hover. We'll say clip path to 0. Okay. Now there's one issue here. What that issue is? See, right now we are clipping everything that inner box. Okay. So we have nothing in our inner box to hover over because we are clipping everything. So if we say inner colon hover, nothing is happening. Why? Because we have nothing in our inner box to hover over, and our inner box is clipped out right now. Okay. So what we will do is we will hover over our outer box and we will target our inner. Okay. Let's add a transition here. Position. Let's say all 1 second even. Okay. Any questions? So right now it is moving from right to left. Okay. So if you can say 100% here and you can say 0 here. Something like a curtain is rising or a curtain is dropping. Okay. Any questions on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Anyone else has any questions?
Sir,
No, sir. So clear.
sir, circle. Sir, we are
Yes.
into
Yes.
circle. Sir.
Sorry.
Circle shape to this.
So you want to see circle or?
Yes, yes.
So see, right now we are at this. Okay. So what we can do here is let's do this. We'll say 200%. That was the what we were doing, what we would do, and when there was here I, even hover over I, and so this is the same logic we should apply there.
Okay, sir.
Any other question? If there are no questions, so I think we are at time. I think we discussed almost everything. This was one of the typical or the new property you would have seen. I think if you already knew animation in CSS, then I believe this clip path would be new. So
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, you did not complete that water glass animation.
What animation? Sorry, can you please?
Water glass, sir.
Okay, glass animation. Okay. Yeah, I can show you the code of the glass animation, but I don't think we have time to discuss the to create that. But I will try to explain you that glass animation code.
Sir, can you
Yeah.
show us previous code of that
Code for
loading page? Yes, sir.
code for what?
Sir, that previous one, loading one, and then save button one.
Okay. So if you want to take a, so do you want a screenshot to, you want to take the
Yes.
screenshot of the code?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do one thing. Just Saurabh, can you please share the emails? Saurabh, are you there?
What, sir?
No, Saurabh, are you there? Okay, no worries. I will put my email here. You ping me in this email. I will give you the video recording of this class. Okay, only to take screenshots. Okay, yes. Yeah. Okay, glass animation. Yeah, I will show the code of the glass animation.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if possible, can you please share the code with us at the end of the session, like on our mail, or you can
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
your
Just
like on
just
Slack as
just
well.
just ping in the mail, and we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, the code for glass. Okay. So these are all the animation I created earlier today. So in the session. Okay. Let me first remove this waves animation. So initially, I'll give you how it is working. So initially, what we have is we have a box. Okay, we have some border for that box. This okay, this is our container. We have a container, and inside that we have a water effect div, and then we have two more HTML divs. So these all are very basic things what we have done. Just added margin 0 and put everything in center. Okay. What we added height, width, we added a border. Okay. Okay. Any questions till now? Okay. We added a border to here. Okay. Now water effect. So what we are doing is, so if you look closely, we are just, so there's a blue box. Okay. There's a blue box which has height of 0 initially, and we are increasing its height. Any questions on this? I'm just giving you the logic how I created it. We have a white box. Inside this, there's a blue box. Initially, the height is 0. And we are creating we are increasing the height. Okay. So if you look at this stretch animation, okay. Right now, initially bottom is minus 130 pixels, 130%, and at 100%, bottom is minus 1 pixels. Meaning, from negative value, we are going to 0, or let's say minus 1 value, meaning we are increasing size from bottom to up. Okay, that is this. And how we create waves, that is one of the difficult things you have to do in CSS. Okay, so clip path also has a polygon function, just like circle, and circle give you a circle, inset gives you a rectangle. With polygon, you can create any polygon you can. Okay, so these are the coordinates for that polygon. Okay, so it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it is a 17 edged polygon. Okay. So it starts from 0%, 8%, goes to 0%, 100%. Okay. And that's the animation. So zero at initially at the 0%, 100%, it is at this position. At 50%, it is at this position. It's just coordinates, nothing else. It is easy, but it is very difficult to create these things. Okay. Understood this waves?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.